Mariner fans, it's November. Why are we coming at you in November? We have some updates. We've decided to do an emergency pod. We're back. It's Schwabi, it's Zweifel, it's Sobba, and we're coming at you because the pieces are starting to fall in place. We've just acquired a couple key elements to a playoff run of 2022. Am I right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. You are right. I woke up this morning, went to bed last night. I didn't have Robbie Ray on my radar whatsoever. I don't think any Mariners fans really had them on their radar whatsoever. I didn't look at him as an option, right?
He was out there. He was out there, but
it just like I never looked at him as an option, right? And so, even earlier today, the Score app, Zweifel, you know that, you're familiar with it. They said I saw an update on Twitter, scrolling through. They make a report on Robbie Ray. The Tigers, Twins, Giants, Angels, and Rangers are all among teams pursuing Robbie Ray. Seattle Mariners were not. I like the facts here real quick, seeing that the Angels were in on him, because there's a fun little story behind here. Not the one I'm going to tell later, Zweifel, but the fun little story here where the Angels, he was actually supposed to be on his way to go visit the Angels and potentially sign with them, who we know have hitters and they need pitchers, and getting Robbie Ray. I mean, shit, it's been the wild, wild west in terms of everything that's gone down, specifically in the last couple of days. But the Mariners do what they do and don't break. They say nothing. They don't break their silence to anybody, right? Like I said, we had no clue Robbie Ray was coming. They end up talking with him and signing him before he has a chance to go to LA. And so we steal Robbie Ray from the Angels, which is long-term, I mean, massive for what the Angels are trying to put together there. So I love the fact they kind of swept Shohei Ohtani out from under our feet, right?
Yeah, they did.
Are we kind of getting him back here? Are we getting him back?
I think so.
Does Robbie Ray, does he hit for like 30, plus home runs or
no?
Okay.
So the Angels got the better side of that deal, but we're talking about the here and now. And right now, the Mariners have acquired Robbie Ray, 2021 AL Cy Young winner, and this is huge addition to our pitching rotation because It's massive because a big theme of last season's season was our rotation had a couple of critical pieces that went well. We're talking Marco. We're talking Justin Dunn, even though he was out for most of the season. But when we talk about Yusei Kikuchi, right? That was something that we really wanted to see progress and get better. And at one point it was, but all of a sudden that crumbled and it dissipated. So this is a huge addition to our lineup, and it's going to bring consistency to our, in other words, we're actually
consistency and longevity though. This guy pitches.
Exactly. No, what I'm saying, you're exactly right. Here's a pitcher where we won't have to really rely on our bullpen. We could send this guy for 7-8 innings.
Right. So, and I mean, like what we were talking about earlier in podcasts is that, like, you look at a guy like Marco, like, is he a good pitcher? Yeah, but he's not an ace. So he would be just a lot better sliding down to that number 2 spot. So getting a guy like Robbie Ray, a bona fide ace, the 2021 Cy Young winner. I mean, we can go over his stats right here, but I just want to put this put this idea across here that, these guys that we had are solid pitchers, but they're a little bit, they're not slotted quite right. Marco can't be your number 1. Flexen was great, but he can't really be your 2. Gilbert needs a little bit of time.
Yes.
You throw Robbie Ray right at the top. Now all these guys fit. They fit a lot better.
We were looking at Justin Dunn potentially being in there at the without Robbie Ray in that rotation. That 5th spot, it's a big ass question mark, right? Big ass question mark. We don't know who's sitting there. Now we slide everybody down, put Robbie Ray up. I'm still not thinking Robbie Ray is honestly a legitimate 1, not taking anything away from him, not taking anything away from the deal with or the signing or whatever. But he isn't just a legitimate dominant ace. Right? He had a Cy Young. He won the Cy Young. All right, like, don't call me crazy, but
you need to see him do it a little bit more than 1 year, right?
Yeah, and it's. I mean,
he had a great year. But
phenomenal year. I mean, this guy it's a different pitcher than the Mariners typically have. We have a phenomenal infield, right? And we have a phenomenal infield, which pairs very well with our pitchers who like to give up a lot of ground balls, put the ball in play. Robbie Ray is not that kind of guy. Robbie Ray is a strikeout guy. He leans it heavily, like 90% of his pitches are either a fastball or a slider, right? But in 2021, he had 248 strikeouts in 193 innings pitched, which that's almost 1.28 strikeouts per inning pitched this year, which means averaged 11.52 strikeouts per 9 innings pitched. And so that all makes sense. My math makes sense.
So if he goes out and throws 9 innings, he's getting 11 and a half Ks.
Here, exactly. And here's
in his career, that's insane. 11 and a half Ks per 9 is insane. His career is 11.17 Ks per 9. That puts him at the best, the all-time leader in strikeouts per 9 innings pitched all time with minimum 1,000 innings pitched in your career. He's ahead of guys. Below him is Yu Darvish, Chris Sale, Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, Randy Johnson, Steven Strasburg, Garrett Cole, Pedro Martinez. I mean, damn, that's a list to be on.
Exactly. And we're going to see a lot of Ks from him this year. One last stat that I noticed that stood out to me, his average for last year, his average pitches per inning was 16, right? That's a huge stat to be proud of too, because a lot of times our starters are getting into trouble, 20 plus innings per inning, 20 plus pitches per inning. So I think we really did come out on top here with Robbie Ray.
And I think that is like you were talking about. You didn't really see him on our radar, and you were looking at.
We were looking at Gausman, honestly, but then the Blue Jays pick up Gausman. That frees up them not signing Robbie Ray. That gives him us.
Right, and they weren't out on Semien, but the Blue Jays weren't really expected to retain Semien with all their young talent that they have coming up and the people that they're going to have to pay. Semien was always going to go somewhere, but when Semien leaves, it's almost like you thought that they were going to then be able to retain Robbie Ray, but then they make a pivot and they go after Gausman. I think a lot of people that were writing these blogs of who trying to play matchmaker of where each free agent goes, they definitely overlooked the fact that the Blue Jays might not even prefer their guy that won the Cy Young. They might prefer a lesser, cheaper option in Gausman. And I don't even think he was that much cheaper, but for me, that was just, it's kind of interesting that they didn't prioritize him as over Gausman, especially. Yeah. It's like they would rather have a guy from outside of their organization than the guy that just won the Cy Young. So I think it could be a little bit the fact that, I'm very excited, don't get me wrong, but he had I know that the strikeouts are lining up with the rest of his career, but he was a walk guy.
Yeah.
He used to, he was slimmer, so he added to his body. And you would think that would actually give them confidence. And like the way that he pitched this year was just like how the Mariners pound the strike zone. He was a first pitch, just every time strike. And then he likes to pound guys in, just owning the inside part of the plate. And then there's also that little thing that like a left-handed hard throwing guy, we've seen it with Paxton. It just hits a little different.
How fast is he throwing?
He can touch like 90. He averages 95. His fastball average is 95.
He can touch 97, 98.
Yeah. But his average is 95.
Okay.
But I just to wrap that up, I think that he wasn't on anyone's radar because they thought that the Blue Jays have enough money to retain their pitcher in Robbie Ray, and they're not signing Semien. So we think that they're going to retain Robbie Ray, but then they go after Gausman. We thought we were going to get Gausman. So we just flip-flopped.
Yeah, we flip-flopped, and I'm happy with that flip-flop. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Shit, man. Well, this is a fun little story I found, you guys. It's a New York Times article, and this is just on the subject. And so it's kind of a little fun story of Robbie Ray connected to the Mariners fans. But I'm not going to say the whole thing because it's long as shit, but a fun little snippet here. The breakout came.
Man, just go for it.
Yeah. Here. Hold on, though. The breakout came in the year he turned 30, but his talent was clear long before. a power left-hander with a knockout fastball and slider. He had made an all-star team, but regressed, struggling for the right way to harness his strength. He piled up strikeouts, but also walks, like few others in baseball. Also, he once killed a bird with a ball in flight. All of that, of course, describes Randy Johnson, who became the most decorated left-hander in baseball history. It also describes Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray claimed his bird a couple of years ago, not with a pitch at spring training, as Johnson famously did, but on a drive at the Camelback Golf Club in Scottsdale, Arizona. So our boy, Robbie Ray, he's similar to Randy Johnson, right? In the fact that he's got a heater of a fastball, a Mr. Snappy of a slider. He's lefty, he's tall, and he kills birds. I love it. He also killed the bird, but on the golf course. I mean, that's just fun stuff to see. That's fun stuff to see.
Well, okay.
That's a little connection.
What's your version of fun, Chris?
I mean, yeah, I could go on and on here. I accidentally, not on purpose. Don't Pete shame me or anything. I accidentally killed a bird once with a rock, threw it into the water at the Puget Sound. Didn't know we were playing a game. Like, it's a game we play with rocks and you try and get it in the ripples, right? Anyways, a bird came, flew, rock nailed it, and it died. And it was a
what? Yeah,
man, it was brutal. Like, it made a loud little thump sound, like a, kind of like a one of those, but louder. And a bird. Yeah, man, it was pretty crazy.
What'd you do? You knocked yourself off the.
did my camera just go out?
Yeah, it did.
That thump sound.
Well, Chris has
Sobba
has a vendetta against birds, clearly.
Not a vendetta, but as I'm fixing my camera here, which has gone to shit, Randy Johnson actually worked as a special assistant for the Arizona Diamondbacks back when Robbie was with them. Robbie Ray was with them. And in 2017, Robbie Ray, this is his second professional season. And I guess let me back up actually before I jump into that. Him and Randy, like, they met first in 2015, and Randy loved the way that he pitched, looked at him as very similar to his own, right? And so he just naturally, fell in love with Robbie Ray. Fast forward to 2017, Randy's still been working with them, right? He knows Robbie. Robbie Ray starts that season. His first 8 games, he started out with a 4.75 ERA. And after his 8th game, Johnson pulls him to the clubhouse. He has a chit chat with him, right? He pulls him, nice little one-on-one with him. And quote from Robbie Ray, he sat down in my locker, and it was basically like a big brother who gets you in a headlock, like, you better figure this out because you never know when your last pitch is going to be, Ray said. And I took that to heart. I ended up rattling off a 26 2/3 inning scoreless streak, went to a sub-3 ERA, and kind of ran with it. And he ran all the way to an all-star appearance in 2017, finished that season with a 15-5 record and a 2.89 ERA and an NL best 12.1 strikeouts per 9 innings. And so Randy Johnson takes this guy under his wing. I mean, shit, he played a pretty damn big role in developing Robbie Ray by coaching with him and being that mentor for him, right? And it's kind of funny how all this shit turns back around with Robbie Ray now in the Seattle Mariners uniform. Just turned 30 on October 1st. He just turned 30. He's just reaching his prime. I know he had a Cy Young season last year, but damn, like, age-wise, he's really just reaching his prime. We got him for $115 million, 5 years. The option at his 3rd year, but shit, this is a hell of a deal.
Would you say that this is largely in part to the go-ahead from ownership in kind of up in the budget?
I mean, this is the biggest deal Jerry Dipoto's ever made. This is the biggest deal since Robinson Cano.
Exactly.
This is.
And that's because the owners are like, okay, we need to strike while the iron's hot. We need to keep this fan base alive because of how close we came.
There's the thing about Robbie Ray, though, that's interesting. And I'm not trying to throw water on the fire here. And I think the deal, it isn't so lucrative that it makes me nervous. I think it's a good deal, and I think we took our shot. And I think that he's going to be definitely more of the pitcher he was last year than a couple of the numbers I'm about to read. But you're talking about the 2017 year. He makes the All-Star game, 2.89 ERA. Next year, his ERA is 3.93 with the Diamondbacks, so just under 4. So you wouldn't want to be paying this type of money to a guy that has a 3.9 ERA, right under 4. I mean, that's decent. It's better than league average, but it's not great. But then 2020, his ERA is 6.62. I know we had a shortened year in 2020, and he's even talked about that on certain podcasts, that he had to tell himself or convince himself that his stuff was good enough. Just go attack the zone, go get the first pitch strike. And what gives me confidence is that he said he found that out this offseason, and he found that something was working well for him. And he said, screw this, man. My stuff is awesome. I'm going to go into this year and I'm going to attack and I'm going to bully these hitters. I'm going to go after them. And we see what happens when he did that. He won a Cy Young. So that was awesome. But this guy isn't it's not, you're not getting a guy who just every year is just,
no, you're right,
checking the boxes.
Yeah.
He's a tiny bit of an unproven guy. And it's kind of like we were just talking about Gossman. Gossman was DFA'd by the Orioles, I think. And then he came back and is flirting with Cy Young years. So it can happen. Guys just have to make that pivot. They have to, get with the right coaching staff, pitching staff, whatever it is, either, match the mental with the body, or I've heard that used before is that a lot of guys are just physical freaks, but you say Kikuchi, he had good stuff, but he was nibbling all around, so this guy, I think coming in here, he has the mental match with the body. But I do just want to throw it out there on the horizon. Hey, it could not be the Cy Young Robbie Ray that we're getting. Who knows?
Right. Yeah.
Did I throw enough water on your flame there?
No. No. Hold on. No, not one bit. I'm loving everything that you just said. I mean, it's like, first of all, you said a little bit ago that Robbie Ray, he used to be a bit skinnier, right? And he bulked up all the way to like 215 pounds, right? He's 6'2", 215 pounds. And this is kind of a little funny snippet, I guess, of off topic, still on topic, same thing, right? He bulked up so much, he never changed the size of his jersey, right? And then he actually changed his pants. And so now he's got the baby gap clothes, right? He's absolutely known for having spider tight clothes. Like they are hugging his skin. Like it looks like, like those videos on Facebook when they do body paint. You can't tell if it's body paint or if it's clothes. He's pretty much wearing body paint. And his teammates have always given him a lot of shit for that. And so that's one thing kind of funny. And as you were then touching on, he changes the mechanics, worked on that. He had a couple off years, right? One major thing the last thing, actually not too major, but it's the last thing he implemented in his whole pitching routine is a major grunt at the end of every pitch. Yeah. He grunts. He grunts like those servers in tennis. They go, he going,
I don't know if I'm prepared for that.
After every pitch, packing all the juice he can behind it. So he's using all that 215 6'2" frame to get those pitches in the zone and throw some heat.
Max, I think it's one of those things where if it's the other pitcher doing it, you're like, who is this guy? Like,
yeah.
This is our guy though. And if they're good,
but if he's our guy, like we're going to be doing it like every time.
Maybe so. That just means we're going to see so much more of it, right? Because it's only so often we come up against someone on the opposing team that with the pitcher that grunts, and now we're going to see it, every 6 games. We traded for a guy that we were looking to get at the deadline. And I think we talked about it as well, that we wanted a guy because Dylan Moore wasn't producing at second base. And we ended up getting Toro, who came in and gave us a little boost. But for a while there, Adam Frazier was. Yeah, that was going to say, I want to move on to Adam Frazier. I don't know enough about this guy.
Well, I mean, for Pittsburgh, he had a career year and he hit, I think, like 320 something. He went to he got traded at the deadline to the Padres, and he didn't do quite as well. I think he finished with a 267 for the Padres and a total of
I think with 52 hits.
Yeah, he had a total of a 300 batting average, but once he got traded to the Padres, he was batting about 267. But I mean,
Also, the Padres' entire team went to shit.
Yeah,
their entire team. So like that's tough, right? And being in a team that's going down the shitter versus being on a team that's got momentum behind it. Naturally, you just produce more when your team is producing more. It's
a fall off, but it's not like 267. It's horrible. I mean, he went there, and you're acclimating to a new clubhouse and everything, and he didn't continue to hit 320. But just how he profiles as a player for people who aren't familiar with Adam Frazier, he's a light hitting, high average, good defensive second baseman that can also play third. He can play left field. He can play center. He can play right field. He's like a super utility guy.
He's like JP Crawford. Just JP sits at shortstop clearly, but in terms of bat, in terms of power, in terms of type of hits, I mean, he's not hitting like crazy. He hit 5 home runs last year, right? Something like that. JP hit 8? Something like that.
I would say he's a better hitter for average than JP is. But yeah, power numbers, it's going to be pretty similar to a JP Crawford. You're not going to be looking for him to go up there and clear the. Well, actually, as I say that, I'm going to take it back a little bit. There was a while in the NL where he was leading the league in doubles. So which is added to your slugging percentage numbers. Right. Different people slug in different ways. So he is a doubles gap hitter. But that's like the full extent of his power. Like he has 5 home runs. Sometimes a lot of times he finds a gap, but what you're going to get out of him is a guy that uses the whole field. He's not a pull hitter. They're not going to be able to shift him, and he's going to get a lot of singles. He's going to get on base. He's going to move the lineup. He's going to stretch the lineup like Jerry's talked about. He want to make the lineup longer. And I think he'll probably bat closer to the top for us, but there's talk that he could be kind of like that number 6 hole, number 7 hole hitter to get your lineup reset. So we'll see how Jerry works it. But as far as what we gave up, I think we were all texting, and I was pretty happy with the compensation.
Yeah.
No, I think we were. The question that I'm sure a lot of people are thinking about is what happens with someone like Toro now? Are we moving? Do we move him to third base? Is it that easy, or are we? And I have a buddy that, I like talking baseball with outside of you guys. Don Sumsky, he's an Astros fan. But
I know Don.
Yeah, Don. But it also begs the question, like, what else is in up Jerry's sleeve, right? Are we still looking at Correa? Are we still looking at Story?
No. We're not looking at Correa.
We're looking at Story.
So we're looking at Story, but I mean, what does that infield situation look like? And plus, like, is Ty France remaining at first base, right?
Ty France is remaining at first base.
Exactly. So we have that locked in. And then we move Toro over to third, and we have Frazier at second.
I don't even think Toro is a priority player.
No, he's not.
For me, he is, like we were talking about earlier, he's a developmental piece that is valuable because of his ability to play a couple different positions on the infield and the fact that he's a switch hitter. But to me, if we're trying to build a team and we're not going to go after like a big name because of friggin' Abraham Toro, then that's just a mistake right there.
Yeah.
I've heard in, after we made that deal for Toro, Dipoto has said that he immediately got 3 to 4 calls on Toro for people that wanted him. And a lot of people thought he was going to flip him right at the deadline. I think an interesting thing you could do is, like with the Athletics, they want some compensation that's cheap and controllable, like a Toro. It's like, give us Matt Chapman. We'll give you Abraham Toro, and then we'll give you, and I don't think it'll be a like high-end prospects, but a couple of prospects like maybe a Taylor Trammell, or
we still haven't gotten rid of him.
Isaiah Campbell, someone to pitch for them. But to answer your question, Toro's either the first guy off the bench, and I love his versatility. And I'm not hating on Abraham Toro. Yeah. I'm just saying I like him a lot better as the first guy off the bench, or I like it to use him in a trade situation where you go solidify your third base. Go get a Matt Chapman.
Well, I think when we initially got Toro, right, Jerry Dipoto was quoted, and this was for the trade for Kendall Graveman, right? he was quoted saying something like, "Hey, like this is all part of the plan." Right. So you would have to imagine that Toro is being leveraged as, some sort of trade bait or some sort of chess move in a future trade coming up. That I would agree with that.
I'm not saying it's like for sure. I think it's in a way kind of like acquiring an Adam Frazier. You acquire these pieces that they're malleable and you can use them and move them around. And if you don't land the big fish, then you're not totally screwed, because then we could have a Toro at third and we could have a Frazier at second. Right. But they don't block. They definitely should not be seen as blocking anyone else that we want to bring in. If we want to bring in a Chris Bryant, we're going to bring him in. And Toro, you're going to go and be the first guy off the bench. But if they're nice to have, because if we don't go land those guys, then I guess they're there and they can suitably fill the lineup up.
Yeah, I agree.
Can I give a big fuck you to the Texas Rangers real quick? Come on, Texas. What are you doing to us? Like, why can't you sucked last year. Now you guys are opening the floodgates. I mean, Marcus Semien.
Isn't
Marcus
that what
Semien,
you're supposed to do?
Yes, I guess.
Try and get better.
Step back. I mean, Marcus Semien on 7 years, and then Corey Seager on $325 million for 10 years. Damn.
So I have a couple.
I don't think that's an FU to Texas. I just think that's good on him. I think that's.
I guess
I think that's just jealousy.
No, I think. Yeah, it is a little bit of jealousy.
I mean, I didn't think we were going to get Corey. I was hoping for Marcus. I didn't think we were going to get Corey, but damn, homie. Yeah. And then what they got? Who was the pitcher they got? They get Steven Matz?
No, they got Gray.
John Gray.
That's right.
Gray.
Yeah,
John Gray.
Yeah.
Max, I can drop F-bombs.
Says who?
says me.
Okay.
Says me.
The way I look at the Texas situation is, okay, both are great players. Both, you could argue, are worthy of that money. I think the Semien deal's a little bit longer than I think is recommended, and I think that's why the Mariners were ultimately out. The Mariners wanted to do something with Semien on a 5-year basis, and Texas just like went all in on us, and they're like, we're going to take him. We're like, all right, then take him for 7 years and get yourself locked into like a Robinson Cano type deal. And then they go and they do 10 years for $325 million for Seager. And they're both great players, and I don't mind those guys getting that type of money. But look at what Texas, a 60 and 102 win team, like who do they think they are? They're not. You're adding these two awesome players to a team that has no foundation. It's like you could give them a Ohtani and Trout, and this is what the WAR stat is used for. Like Ohtani is worth 11 WAR.
Yeah.
If you gave Ohtani to the 60-win Texas Rangers,
they're still going to go.
They'd be a 71-win team. And this is what they're trying to do with these two players. They're trying to, like, you guys don't have a foundation. You have no business being in this market, but you want to be. So I guess go do it.
I'm excited for when we play them and Marcus Semien goes like 4 for 4 with like 2 doubles and 2 bombs, but Mark Fultonevich is pitching, and JP Crawford and Adam Frazier both hit like 2 bombs. The 2 lefties that just don't hit for power, but JP would always off Fultonevich. Like he had those like 4 or 5 his homers were like off of him, I swear. Yeah. That would be awesome because Fulton. I mean, their pitching. I mean, yeah, John Gray, but.
Well, one last thing, and then I'll turn it over to you guys. But I think another interesting thing is we've always talked about how Kyle Seager just rakes. And the fact that they have an open third base spot there, and then they just signed Corey Seager, you know Kyle Seager is going to be playing against the Mariners next year in Texas, and he's probably going to have a phenomenal year because he's going to get 81 ball games down there in the
damn dude, yeah.
So
no kidding.
Damn, because they just spent the bank, they just spent their money, right? A ton of it, and they can get Kyle on the low to play next to his brother. I mean. Damn, dude, that's just. I think I didn't think about that before you just said it, and now
that'd be kind of fun to watch.
That'd be fun to watch, man. As a baseball fan, that's fun to watch.
I mean, as much as I'm crapping on the Rangers, they do still have. So they lost Gallo, right? But they're returning that Adolis Garcia guy who is just sick, and then get if they got they got him number 2 in the lineup, and then they go Seager, and then they go Simeon, and then you add a Cal Seager. It's actually a decent middle of the order. But again, they're like a worse version of the Angels now, is that they can hit, but they're not going to be able to pitch.
We have a quick and exciting announcement for you listeners. Monday Mojo, we're growing a little bit, and we need some assistance. And we thought, who better to ask than the people who listen to us on a regular basis? We are looking for somebody to help on more so the production side of things, behind the scenes, behind the camera, right? Somebody who is experienced in social media managing, making posts, doing those GIFs, all that funny shit, like putting Jerry Dipoto's face on Dumbledore in a meme or something like that. Something that we don't know how to do that stuff, and we need somebody who does know how to do that stuff. And so we are asking you, one of our listeners, if any of y'all are interested, to hit us up on Instagram and let us know, or email me at csobba@gmail.com. That's CSOBBA@gmail.com. Let us know. We'd love to get another person on board who can help with this stuff. Take quite a few things off of Evan's hands as our producer, but send us your information if you want to talk. Looking for a social media manager, somebody who has some production experience as well would be very helpful. But let us know. Looking forward to hearing from you.
Sobba, talk a little bit more about Adam Frazier, because I think that adding a guy like him to right now, he is our second baseman. If we can add another guy,
we need another guy in the infield. We need another guy.
We need a third baseman. But I'm comfortable with Adam Frazier. He extends our lineup, and he plays really good defense up the middle. So
yeah, no, and like you said, he's a super utility, right? And if we can get, we're still targeting Chris Bryant, right? And we're still targeting Trevor Story, right?
And I'm going to go on record saying we will get Chris Bryant.
The thing that's
are you serious?
The only bummer about this is it's been rumored that Bryant's party has said that he's not going to sign until after the collective bargaining agreement, which is coming up in a day and a half from right now, December 1st. And so that's kind of the only bummer is, of course we want everything as quick as possible. That's just human nature. I want to know what we have next year right now. But it's not looking like that's going to be the situation. Shit could change real quick in a day and a half. So we'll see. But with that being said, Adam Frazier, he's great, super utility. You can put him in the outfield if needed. Second base, as you said, he's great at the middle, great pairing with JP Crawford. But that's not going to stop us from going out for those other two, and we need to get one of those other two. Or trade for Chapman. I don't know.
Yeah, between those two. Zweifel, I think that's a stretch, right? The reason being, the first thing I see when I type in Chris Bryant is Phillies are looking at him, Mets are looking at him. And
hold on,
what
happened with Robbie Ray?
Well,
the media doesn't know what Seattle's doing. The media has no clue what Seattle's doing.
I listened to a lot of Ryan. I listened to a lot of Ryan Divish, who we've had on the show, and he's very, very confident that we were either going to sign a Marcus Semien. He said that was our guy. We went all in on him. It just didn't work out. Or a Chris Bryant. And he was like, I would put a lot of money that we're going to get one of these guys. And it seems that, yes, we did go and prioritize a starting pitcher, but I think that was always the plan. I think we got a little bit more money from that Kikuchi deal that kind of allowed us to do we're already going to do big things in the offseason. I think that allowed us to do even bigger things and get a guy like Robbie Ray instead of a guy like John Gray. I think we were always in the field for a pitcher. But one thing that hasn't changed is now if we don't get, because I'd be fine with the Chapman trade, but if we don't get a Chapman, and we'll just see how Dipoto wants to play this, we are going to fill that third base spot. We're not going forward with Abraham Toro. Dipoto wants to strike on. This is a huge year for shortstops who could play third base, or a guy like Bryant, who is a third baseman that can play left field. We're going to get one of these guys. The Frazier, and also there's like a little tidbit that was dropped there on the Adam Frazier deal when he was talking about it. He goes, something of the effect of what we really like about this deal is Adam gives us incredible versatility without blocking what we really want to do. So that tells you he wants a big name there on the infield. Looking at the roster, it's obvious we need it. I'd be happy with Chapman. I'd be happy. Maybe that's what I should have said. We're going to get either one of Chapman or Bryant.
Yeah.
If it's not Bryant, it's Chapman. If it's not Chapman, it's Bryant.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. I just don't know who I'm trying to think. Like, clearly I wouldn't be upset with either one.
And Story's still in play.
And I'd like Story a lot. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, as long as we get one, I'm not complaining. Yeah. That's just coming from the seat of a Seattle Mariners fan, right? Exactly. But I'll say this, because at least it's great to see that. I mean, clearly with the Robbie Ray sign, this, as we said earlier, this is the most amount of money Jerry Dipoto has ever given to a player in his tenure with the Seattle Mariners. And for all those people who were saying shit about Dipoto, saying shit about ownership, who have been for the last number of years since Dipoto's taken over, they're always comparing us and this current team and organization to the past teams and organizations that have taken a hold of the Mariners. And we're going to trade our farm, and we're not going to spend anything in the offseason. Granted, we never really did or had a great opportunity, except for a couple instances, as we all know of. But this is a different time. This is different now because we're actually, like we said, he's got that jigsaw puzzle, right? We've got those pieces, but the corner pieces, we just got one of those corners with Robbie Ray. Just got one of those corners with them, and we need to get another corner. I mean, damn, man, it's tough to have a full 4-corner jigsaw puzzle filled, but we're getting mighty close to it. We're getting mighty close.
That's right. One thing before we're probably going to wrap up here. One thing before we wrap up, to kind of piggyback on what you're talking about, is Dipoto's always made promises that this is going to be the year that we spent this offseason. Is going to be very important. It's going to be the year that we go after it. So far, he hasn't lied at all. I mean, you go and sign the AL Cy Young. We're going hands over heels over here. That's awesome. And then we go get an Adam Frazier, who we were all clamoring for at the deadline. That's cool. I think there's more to come here. But let's get the picks to hit.
Well, right. I was gonna make that joke, man. Damn it. Oh my gosh. Hey, I like that. But
we're a bunch of funny guys.
One little thing I saw earlier, real quick. The last time the last time the Rangers gave
we have so many. Okay, go ahead.
Shut up, man.
We just have so many great opportunities to wrap it up. But
I don't want to wrap it up yet. I got some other things I want to talk about, man. We've only been on here for like 30 minutes, right? It hasn't been that long.
40
hasn't been that long, but
it has been that long.
So I recommend you wrap it up.
Yeah.
No, not on this.
That's why I just stopped talking for a second. I knew you were being facetious there.
Woo! I'm talking about when you're swiping facetious. On Tinder. You know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said facetious.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Do you know what facetious means?
Yeah, it means you're joking about serious stuff.
I guess. I don't know. I couldn't give you a full-on definition. Anyways, the last time the Rangers gave a shortstop 10 years and an overpay contract, the Mariners signed an outfielder named Suzuki and won 116 games. There's an outfielder with the last name Suzuki, Seiya Suzuki, that is coming from Japan. The Rangers just signed a shortstop to a 10-year contract, Corey Seager. I mean, damn, does lightning strike twice in the same spot here? I mean, shit, maybe we get Seiya Suzuki. He's got interest in the Seattle Mariners. That's a name that we don't have at that top of the board that we're looking at in our war rooms, but it's a name that people are looking at, and he's looking at us. And one guy we can't not talk about is Marcus Stroman, because Marcus Stroman was rumored. If we got Marcus Stroman on top of Robbie Ray, god damn, that would be amazing.
And it's like we're talking about how you have to look at where these people are. He was having dinner in Seattle.
Yes. He was having dinner in Seattle. Seawald reached out to him. JP Crawford reached out to him. Seawald and Marcus played together.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I mean, dude, if we could get Marcus Stroman, he's tweeted back at them saying, get your front office to do their thing. Like, I'm all ears. He's open to it, man. Like, he loves what we're doing up here in the Pacific Northwest. He said it, not me. He said it. He loves what we're doing. He could get him on board. Get him on board. Hop on the bandwagon, Stro. Come on, baby. And he's got that swagger. Man. Like like that dominance, that power that you want, that aggressiveness nature, right, on the mound as a starting pitcher that you need from your guy. And like, I'm sure Taijuan Walker's kind of talked with him about what the Mariners have going on. He's probably asked, like, what was it like with your time over there? And I know Taijuan's got nothing but good things to say about us. I mean, damn, bro, Marcus Stroman.
Well, I'm not going to call him an insider, but we have some inside information on Jerry Dipoto. I don't even know if I should be talking about it too much. It was a Zoom meeting.
Where Jerry Dipoto setting the table.
Jerry Dipoto said, you'd be surprised to the people he was talking to on the Zoom meeting. He said, you'd be surprised with how tight the trade market is for starting pitching. My theory is that he thought he was going to fill in the starting pitching because we needed two through the trade market. He said on this Zoom meeting that it's very hard right now to get a starting pitcher through trade. So I think we see him go add the Robbie Rays, and then maybe now it's just, hey, we're not going to be able to get another guy through a trade. Let's either sign Tyler Anderson or we sign Marcus Stroman.
I'd rather have Marcus. We need a righty in there now with Robbie.
Yeah, Anderson, that might be overkill with the lefty. That's a good point.
That's overkill with the lefties. And I'm not sure what we're going to do with the rotation, right? Like, are we going back to 5? Are we going back to 6? Like,
well, actually, I might stop you there. It's not crazy overkill. You got 3 in that situation. You have
3-2 ratio.
3-2. Yeah. Or you have 3-2 if you sign Stroman. You can go either way.
Shit. How about them apples? Oh, dang. All right.
Maxie, sign us off here. Give us a good one. Tell us how you feel.
I'm telling you right now, I'm stoked for this because we've got Robbie Ray, we've got Adam Frazier, and we've got a whole bunch of hypotheticals that we just gone over, right?
Yeah.
Which means we're barely in November right now. We've got a lot of offseason left, which means a lot of good opportunity. And I think if we tie this all back together, right, the conversations we're having on who we could, who we could pick up, we're deserving of these people because this is going to be a year where we're going to make a run like no other, right? We're done waiting. Management is done waiting. The players are done waiting. The fans are done waiting. So here we go. Let's see who else we can get. Let's see who else, what else Jerry has up his sleeve. Let's go Mariners. Unless you have anything else to say.
I mean, I'm just sitting over
here. I was going to make the joke. I was going to come in and just one more thing there, man.
just one more thing, man. Well, if we're doing that, just one more thing.
Don't do it.
Jesus.
I bought an air fryer.
He's doing it.
Holy shit, man. That thing is tight. I have been cooking everything in it. And it's a quite literal game changer. If you don't have an air fryer, do yourself a favor. I know Black Friday is over. You missed out. Sucks to be you. But promo for you air fryer companies out there. I'm telling my people to get one because they're pretty damn good. But shit, man. Seattle Mariners, Robbie Ray. He's right now, as it stands, the ace of the Seattle Mariners rotation. Adam Frazier, he's in there. We wanted him at the trade deadline. Didn't get him. Now we got him again from San Diego. Thank you very much for Ty France and Luis Torrens and Taylor Trammell. This has been great offseason so far.
Andres Munoz,
Christopher Sobba, you dumbass, and Matt Brash. Jesus, San Diego, you are. I love you, San Diego. Damn. And if we can get Stroman from the Mets, Jesus, I love it. But
we've got a lot of things cooking.
And now, when you're listening to this, tomorrow will be the CBA comes into effect. Lockout begins December 1st. I think that's on Wednesday, which will be tomorrow when you're listening to this. And then nothing can happen. So then we just wait. But maybe when you're listening to this, breaking news happens and we lose our shit and we have another ace in Marcus Stroman or Chris Bryant or Matt Chapman or something else crazy. But with that being said, welcome to the 2022 season. Seattle Mariners, baby, let's go.
And regardless of what happens, thanks for listening. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. We'll be coming at you next.